Hello YouTube and welcome back to Psychology Everyday Day 170. Today we have a very special episode because I have bought a microphone and we're going to try and see how it works. Please let me know in the comments how it works. I do believe there is some static noise that I could edit out, but instead I'm just going to talk louder so you can turn down the volume and get rid of the static that way. Today we're doing psychology student rates the 10 biggest models or ideas for how to get happy. And you know, I'm the psychology student. I've been studying psychology for quite a few years now. I am sort of halfway into my master's program towards becoming a clinical psychologist, and of course I do YouTube on psychology. So let's get right into it. On number 10, the worst model of the 10 for, you know, trying to become more happy and, you know, explaining happiness or reaching it is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This one. So basically it is often shaped like a triangle or a pyramid where you have sort of different needs in different levels, and the original idea explained that you don't care about the higher levels if you haven't satisfied the lower levels. So if you have no food or water, you don't care about love. However, it is stupid in so many ways, because if you remove that sort of bottom tier, you can immediately just prove the theory false, because some people don't care about safety, they only care about self-realization, like a mercenary soldier. Some people don't care about community, and Maslow himself changed the theory later in his life and added a bunch of models and talked about how you certainly can sort of shift the positions of them, and it's just a trash sort of copy of earlier psychologists and philosophers and religions. And with how much wisdom there is in this world coming up with this theory, every time I talk about it, I just get more and more annoyed at how actually bad it is and how often it is used, and no good. Coming in at number 9 in these sort of, by the way, I color coded them. So the purple ones are research and science based, the green ones are philosophy or religion, and the red ones are you know, just made up models or theories by great psychologists. So coming in at number 9, we have actually Buddhism and the detachment. So Buddha said that the root of all suffering is attachment, and you know, if you take a spin on it, then you should be more happy if you detach, I guess. Maybe that is just me making shit up, but I find this to not be very good advice, because it's so anti-life. I believe life is for the living, and you should care about stuff, and taking part and being attached to life and the events in it, much better. Just sort of detaching and being like, oh, nothing matters, we're just gonna die anyway, who cares, right? It's not a good way to go. So, you know, maybe his statement, the root of all suffering is attachment, maybe you can't flip it on its head like that, because the root of everything is attachment. Happiness as well. If you care about, you know, a sports team and they win, that makes you happy. The theory or model or whatever that comes in at place number 8 is actually Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's Flow. And flow describes activities where you are so engaged that you are completely taken up by it. It consumes your bandwidth, and you know, it's things like driving a motorcycle, dancing, playing music, guitar, playing intense video games, stuff like that. And since this is a science-based sort of model or theory, it you know, you can try to falsify it, right? And I know plenty of people that engage in these sorts of activities very, very much, and they are very unhappy. And for me, even though it's very enjoyable to drive a motorcycle or do other things, sports can also be one of these flow activities. It certainly boosts your mood in a little bit, but it is nowhere near a complete sort of thing or idea for becoming happy. Even if you combine it with his other pillars of happiness, compared to some of the things on these lists, it's weak. Sorry. The number 7 of these theories is another science-based model, and that is Sonja Lyubomirsky's, I actually missed a U here, pie chart of happiness, where she describes in her book how her science team came up with the pie chart that describes how 50% of your happiness level from 1 to 7 in a scale that has been heavily operationalized in a, according to me, very problematic way. They found twins, right, that were separated at birth. They didn't know each other at all, and these were within 50%, so 3.5 or whatever, or if someone were at a 3 out of 7, basically the other one was within 4.5 to 0, something like that. Some stupid, abhorrent math that you can't use to draw that conclusion at all. And this is a problem that you often encounter when you actually learn more about scientific theory, about how just much there are so many problems within that field. Oh my lord. And basically this is a shame, because the other idea of the pie chart, that 40% of your happiness level comes from your habits, is a very, very, very good one. It's a very strong idea. And basically what that means is that if you practice sort of gratitude, if you try to look positively at things, a bunch of things will change your happiness level by up to 40%. So I don't remember if, let's say you are at a 4 out of 7, I don't remember if you multiply that by 1.4, so you get 4 times 1.4, or if it's 40% of 7. I do believe it's based on the genetic predisposition. However, the math is bad and the model is bad, but focusing on habits is very good. Coming in at number 6, we have Beck's cognitive triad. And Beck, the king of cognitive psychology, he has sort of ripped this from older sort of minds, perhaps bigger minds, but it is a very good sort of quick way, and that is what cognitive behavioral therapy is all about, right? Being inefficient in quickly finding out what's wrong and then fixing it. It's a very good way to sort of quickly look for red flags. Beck's cognitive triad basically states that you will be unhappy if you have a negative view of yourself, your future, or the world. That's it. Very quick and efficient. However, it doesn't say much about how to fix it, but it is a very fast way to find some sort of red flag, which I like, which is why it's at number 6. Coming in at the middle sort of section, which, number 5, is Stoicism. And that is very fittingly because Stoicism, the idea that you should focus on what you can control and ignore the rest, the don't worry about what you can't control, it fits very good in the middle, because it's only in the middle of happiness level, so medium, that it actually works. It's very good to get you from a medium place to a good place. It's completely useless advice for someone that is actually suffering. There's a famous saying that every philosopher thinks or says that you can live with toothache except for the one that has it. And you know, trying to rationalize like actual hard grief, or if you are in horrible pain, just focus on what you can control. It's pretty advice. And by the way, I forgot to do that. I was going to do that for Maslow and the others as well, so I'm just going to... But Stoicism basically is where the tide is shifting, because going from a medium place to a good place by sort of specifying what you can control, and then combining that with the habits of Sonja Lyubomirsky, then you are starting to get something quite good. Coming in at number 4, and this, of course, as earlier viewers of my channel know, is my guy, my man, Carl Jung and his individuation. And basically what he says in individuation, which is my favorite psychological theory of all time. However, in this sort of context of happiness, it's not all-encompassing or perfect in any means. What it means is that we have sort of a life's journey where we are supposed to become who we truly are, you know, to fulfill our destiny perhaps, complete the book, complete the story. So if you think about your life as some sort of story, it has a beginning and an end, and then a bunch of things happens. Like in The Lion King, where Simba is supposed to become the king who he was really meant to be, and not screw around with Timon and Pumbaa. And the reason that it's not number 1 in this list, even though it's number 1 in my sort of general list, is because that is not everyone's highest goal at all. Some people just want to have a good time. Some people actually enjoy hanging out with Timon and Pumbaa. And perhaps they would have been even better off, you know, actually taking on their destiny, facing Scar, whatever, then, you know, that's not for everyone. And if you believe in reincarnation, maybe they are on the process of getting closer and closer to that life. Coming in at number 3, we have actually a science-based one, which is Martin Seligman, the guy who came up with the learned helplessness by electroshocking dogs, sadly, PERMA model, which is positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishments. So these 5s are very, very good, strong sort of strong ideas, positive emotions, do things that make you laugh, that make you happy, you know, that excites you and stuff like that. Engagement is the flow idea from Mihaly, so just taking that and sort of smashing it into these 5, much better. Relationships, of course, everyone knows this. Having, you know, a beautiful partner, children, friends, just a major thing. And I'm so surprised that not a lot of other people have actually talked about this. Meaning, also super good, super obvious in a way, if you believe that what you do and your life has meaning. It's great, because this sort of ties into Aaron Antonovsky, which is not on the list. But yeah, if you have meaning, you will find a way. Also Viktor Frankl, some of the people that missed the list, sadly. And accomplishment, which goes right into actually number 2, which is Alfred Adler's idea of strive and social belonging, which is one of the ideas that Maslow sort of plagiarized in a shitty way. But basically, if you think about the Maslow hierarchy of needs, striving upwards or forward, according to Adler, is basically the best thing about life. And I'm gonna have to agree, and it ties into Beck's cognitive triad, right? If you envision a positive future and you strive towards that, then that is enough to keep you occupied and happy for a very, very long time. Now, some people, type B people, say that, oh, but doesn't that mean that you are constantly sort of dissatisfied? And no, that's not actually what it means, because if you are going to a journey to a beautiful sunny beach, that doesn't mean that you are dissatisfied with your house, yet you can long and look forward to the experience at the beach. You can enjoy the journey without being dissatisfied with where you are. He also talked about social sort of belonging, becoming a social citizen and taking part in the community, which talks a little bit, you know, can be related to relationships, but also having sort of a meaningful place in the world, feeling that you belong. Just amazing. Double thumbs up. Coming in at number 1, ding ding ding, winner, Christianity, gratitude and love. There is no better nor easier way than sort of achieving happiness than by focusing on gratitude, either by, you know, talking about, oh, you know, I'm so happy to have this home, food on the table, and, you know, a loving family. And sort of recalibrating your mind, but also your nervous system to focus on and give attention to these things. This, of course, was the good part in the happiness pie chart. But even bigger than gratitude is focusing on love. If you love a lot, if you give a lot of love, then you will be surrounded by love. Just like if you spit everywhere, you will be surrounded by spit. But this action of love, which love is not saying or whatever, or that tingly feeling when you get a crush. Love is an action, and loving the world, the other people, and yourself, Beck's cognitive triad, by the way, will create a habit of loving. And isn't that in itself to be happy? If you love your job, then you are happy with your job. That is all for today. Let me know how the sound was, and if you have any requests for any video or you know, anything else you want to say, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and have a fantastic day. And I am so grateful for you, the viewer, and I love you. Have a fantastic day.